Mr. Shah, thank you so much for talking to us. Just wanted to first explore the challenges that the industry, particularly the diamond industry, has faced on an export front over the last year.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Devna. Yes, there have been challenges in the gem and jewelry industry as a whole. And to look at in this financial year, starting from April until now, the gem and jewelry industry is down almost by 30%. And the main reason is that the major markets, US, which is here, the consumer spending is on a decrease main because of the high interest cost and the interest cost not coming down because of inflation. Is where the Fed is tackling out, where the Fed is trying to take it under control. So it's going to take some long time before we start seeing the interest rates coming down. Yes, means it will take some time for the consumer also to adapt to the new interest zone. So that is where the slowness is there, which is one of the major markets. The second biggest market, which is China. So post-COVID, the economy is not opened up and they are struggling by themselves. So a lot of spending needs to be done to boost up the economy, and which the Chinese government is aware of. And I'm sure that within some time, or maybe it will take, say, the Chinese New Year, things should start coming back to normalcy as far as China is concerned. But overall, what we see that out of the whole gem and jewelry basket, we are seeing that 50% is diamond, and where we are seeing a sharp fall, and the reasons which I mentioned just now for the same, and the balance is the on the gold front, plain gold jewelry, it is picking up, it's doing good. Studded jewelry, it is taking again because US is a major consumer, so it is taking some small hiccups also as well. But we are seeing because of these FTAs, which has been signed by the Ministry of Commerce, by our Honorable Commerce Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal. So that is doing a good job. That is helping for the gold exports as of now. That is coming from the UAE, ACTA, or Australia. So hopefully we are just crossing.
Yes. Also, the Russia-Ukraine war. Russia as a supplier of small stones, small diamond stones. I mean, there are a lot of sanctions against Russia right now. So what does that do for India?
Yes, it's a good question. First of all, let me give you a background. Russia is one of the major and the largest supplier as far as loose diamonds are, as far as rough diamonds are concerned. And one thing we have to understand that Russia, by value, it's almost selling almost 37 to 38%, and almost it is a substantial value, and majority of our small diamonds are coming from there as such. But currently, yes, the war is a scenario, and after the sanctions have taken place, payments are not going through, and supply there has been a supply disruption, which is currently not impacting us because, as I said, our exports are down is because of demand, and the demand which has dropped because of significantly, which I said, US and China, the major consumer market. So once we see this demand starting picking up, supply would be a big challenge for us, and for that we are not resting aside, and we are talking to the ministry, and I'm sure that along with the ministry, some way or the other, we'll be able to make sure that the supply is not restricted.
Mr. Shah, so that means both COVID and the ensuing wars that have taken place have had a reasonable impact on India gem and jewelry. That aside, there is a slowdown in the US. The fiscal stimulus has been pulled quite a bit by the government. So that doesn't really exist so much anymore as it did during the time of COVID, which is why even US consumer spending has gone down. Now, how are companies in India that hold a reasonable amount of inventory, because that's really where the value is for companies, inventory of diamonds, natural diamonds. How are they coping with that? And what is the hedge?
Fine. Okay, let me just give you a little bit brief. As I said, that the industry is down almost by 30%, and mainly that is the diamond segment. And what the diamond segment is right now, what we have analyzed from the council, and we made a trade. We had a lot of series of trade meetings, meeting all of the top manufacturers, exporters, and we came to a conclusion that it is because of supply and demand disruption. So even though with less supply, even which is affected with the war, yet we don't see that kind of demand, and we see a falling prices. And to safeguard the falling prices, we as an industry collectively came forward and decided to have a voluntarily import ban and just make sure that the supply and demand is very well managed and very well balanced. And we decided to keep a 2 months moratorium, which started from 15th of October, which will be lasting, which will be reviewing at middle of December, that is 15th December. So that has really helped a lot. We are right now, as we are seeing, a little bit safeguarded the falling prices, which we are afraid of. That's the reason, and inventory levels also have gone down. And that has been a boost because no new production coming. Customers are also aware worldwide. So gradually, yes, now things are in such a way that now we will be looking for supply as far as production facilities and everything will be opening up. And at the same time, we anticipate that there should be some demand coming up once we see the Thanksgiving sales, once we see the Christmas sales, and how is it taking place. And we need to also look at the same time the new markets because, and again, we will be reviewing the situation on the 11th and the 12th of 11th or the 12th of December, where we will see again what are the inventory levels of the industry, and based on that, how do we see the demand forward, and then again we will take a call whether we should continue for some more time, or we need to uplift and just make sure that our workers as well as our manufacturers.
Because it is one of the largest employment industries for this country, diamonds, gem and jewelry. So we do have to safeguard it. But one question related to that, you said Thanksgiving sales in the US, etc. But the US, do you feel, is moving towards lab-grown diamonds? I was reading a report which said almost now half of the engagement rings that you have in the US, in the bridal market, are now lab-grown. That said, even in India, the consumer is starting to accept lab-grown diamonds as a replacement to natural diamonds on some level. Is that valid? Because we do see that happening, right? Especially in the US.
Okay, fine. Let me just address it straightforward. I would say that I won't say it is right, and at the same time, I would also like to say give a clear picture to our viewers that see both natural as well as lab grown are going to stay and going to complement each other. Where there is an aspiration, where there is a belief, where there is emotion, it's a natural diamond which is holding a value. So once there is a value, there is a category of buyers who are looking for affordable diamonds, who are the first time buyers, and they do not have that enough kind of money power or something. They are looking for valuation. They are looking for fun jewelry. They are looking for fashion. So this is a category where it is going to take care of that segment. They are aspiring to go towards natural, but yes, they will begin with somewhere, and they will end up buying natural diamonds gradually. So it is going to be like once you have a desire that you can fulfill it by buying, where it was not affordable to you. At some time now, because of this lab-grown category, it will be an affordable category. Once you are into the affordable category, then you will be looking for that aspiration, and then you start moving towards natural, because then you will be looking for investment, you will looking for value also. So both are going to complement each other.
Mr. Shah, I'm so sorry to interrupt. But do you think that would be the case in the US? Because trend-wise, that's not what we're seeing there in terms of consumption. And couple that with the fact that there is a slowdown in the US, and the average consumer is spending less on diamonds. Do you think in the US, actually, natural diamonds are going to make a comeback?
Yes, see, if you see with this slowdown, if you are, and as an overall industry, if you see, the natural diamonds, because of the slowdown, has gone down in prices by almost 20-25%. But in the lab-grown segment, the prices are constantly falling, and the confidence level is not there in the consumer. So people who are looking for the lab-grown diamond segment, they need to understand that yes, in the falling prices, you are not looking at the prices. You are looking for your fun, you are looking for your desire, and which you are fulfilling. fulfilling it. Because see, if you are seeing, it's a technology product end of the day, and with the new technology adoption, prices are not going to be stabilized. So that is where the nervousness is there. And if you've seen recently, I think Rappaport has come up with a huge, it has a huge customer base and huge connection with all the retailers, and he has come up with his report. There are a lot of challenges also as far as lab-grown diamonds are concerned. So both the segments are having their own challenges, but again, both are going to complement each other. Consumer needs to be more educated, and with time, things both the segment will be doing good. If you see in pearls today, when it is becoming rare, you see there are natural pearls which is having a high substantial value, and you see South Sea pearls. So both coexist. So for anything which is natural is always going to exist because it's going to be rare and rare.
Okay, that's an interesting point actually. But in terms of price trends, because of all the global uncertainties that exist at the moment, right now you're just trying to arrest a large slide in both in the price of natural diamonds, because with lab-grown diamonds, it's not very easy to do that, given the rate at which technology is evolving. Is that safe to say?
That's right. Because since it's a very valid point, because the minds can be controlled, a message can be given across. And as far as the lab grown is concerned, we do not have any data as such, and there is huge capability across the globe. And where it starts producing, it's difficult to analyze what kind of supply are we expecting and whether the market is ready for it. So yes, this segment, it's like people for the first time, teenagers who are looking to buy mobile phones, Apple phone, i15, it will be trying to take the market share from there because it will be giving them a choice to buy diamonds at an affordable prices. So there will be a different category where it will be competing with. It's not that you're going to compete natural, because there is a value for natural diamonds, there is going to be desire for these diamonds because yes, the aspiration will be there.
Also, Mr. Shah, on gold, in China, there's a lot of consumption that has shifted away from diamonds, as you said, and has moved towards gold. And even in India, actually, even though prices of gold have gone up in the last year and a half, the consumption of gold is not being impacted for the first time by a price rise. Why is that? Is it because consumers basically are shifting to gold as, they always traditionally have in times of war and uncertainty in equity? Is that what is happening right now with gold? Even more so?
Exactly. Yes, you are right. If you see, gold is where comes in play is also the central bank starts accumulating. It is not only the consumption, it is also the central bank starts accumulating where they look into their reserves. It is also de-dollarization which takes place. So gold is again an asset where central banks try to balance their all categories of assets as such. Yes, when there is uncertainty, when there is, if you see, when the prices of gold, it was just only Ukraine and Russia war, and then we saw this Israel and Hamas. So that all added more fuel, and there was a lot of uncertainty that how this war is going to come up with, whether it is going to spread to other regions as such. So whenever there is a fear factor, gold again plays a very important role. And over the years, people have seen the confidence in gold that always whatever it is, if when there is a fear factor or whatever it is, gold has always helped, and it is easily liquidated. So like if you see in times of COVID, people had easily when they needed funds, gold was the best asset for them to liquidate immediately. So that was also one of the strongest reasons. And coming to your point, China. Why China is buying gold and not into diamonds? Because China is also coming up after this post-COVID. It is taking time because they are the people, the consumers over there. Whenever they see any prices falling, they will never they will never come forward. They will see it to stabilize things, and then they will start once they see that things now looks better, and if they see a nice future, immediately you can see that and buy. So the reason is that yes, they have the spending power. It's not that they don't have it. That's what they are using it in buying, accumulating gold. So that is one of the reasons, and I personally feel once things stabilize, once you see things moving in the right direction, once the war scenario is also at ease, automatically things will start moving, and demand for diamonds would be very much going to be there, and that's what I'm looking forward.
Yes, we all are really, because like I said, the kind of employer the industry is, of workers in Surat and across India. So, are we worried right now about jobs in this sector, natural
No,
diamonds?
no, I don't think so. I'll tell you. Let's say again. I will repeat. Both natural diamond and lab-grown diamond helps to complement each other. Here again in employment, they have natural diamond and the lab-grown diamond has a similar process of cutting and polishing. So the employee, if you as you see that the means the way the production and the units, it has been like a lot of this. It's been setting up in India across Gujarat. If you see, there are a lot of plants coming up for lab-grown diamonds as such. So there is a production taking place. So there is enough stock, enough of goods to take care to take care of the workers as such. So, and my question is, my worry is not on the employment part. My worry is on the demand part, and that's where even as a council we are looking into, because for if there is a demand, everything can be absorbed. It means even our employment can be taken care of, everything. So we all need to work towards demand. There has to be demand, healthy demand for the natural diamonds. If natural diamond is going to flourish, lab grown will automatically follow. So we have to see an aspiration for diamonds. That is very important. So diamond marketing needs to be done aggressively, and that's what exactly our message is also to all the miners, that there has to be enough spending and awareness to make sure that diamond segment exists.
Okay, lastly, Mr. Shah, would you say, moving away from a little bit of doom and gloom, would you say India is quite a bright spark right now? Because the jewelry spending by the average Indian consumer has gone up quite a bit. So our own sort of domestic demand for jewelry has definitely blossomed over the last couple of years.
Yes, you are right. India is, we are in a much better shape. Our economy compared to the world, we are in a better sweet spot thanks to our Prime Minister for doing such great things for the country. And it is really helping a lot. If you see, because of the slowdown in China, because of the US-China trade war, all that business is moving into Asian countries, and that is also India is also part of it, and India is trying to take maximum share out of it. There is a lot of belief in India. If you see the largest GDP, if you forecast, is going to be is India. So everybody is aware that the way India is coming up with a very strong, and bullish economy. You see all the jewelers also, when we just saw the post, the Diwali sales and everything, all the jewelers were in a much better spirit, and they are on an expansion mode. So, and traditionally, gold has been also doing good, and even we are getting reports that it is from our IIGS, which was recently concluded in August, we gathered a lot of demand for the jewelry part, and that is where exactly it has helped diamonds inventories also to move down, to go down, because India has been very supportive. India and the consumers over are very much vibrant, and their spending power is great. So that's really, really, I'm looking for that the next couple of years is going to be for India, and Indian economy should be much better than compared to other economies as such.
And you also brokered the deal for duty-free export of jewelry to the UAE. Do you think that's going to help support us as well through these slightly tougher times?
Yes, for sure. And that is, we are not only looking for UAE, we are looking for other countries, for the EU also, and for the UK also, and even for Canada. So hopefully things is moving in the right direction. And hopefully once this treaty takes place, our business again should be back to normalcy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shah. Thank you so much for your time. This was really valuable insight.